All right, guys, we're going to skip ahead to lesson number 8 today. So we are going to be on page 57. So let's use hangers to understand two different ways of solving equations with parentheses. I can explain how balanced hanger and equation represents the same situation. I explain why some balanced hangers can be described two different equations with one parentheses and one without. I can find an unknown weight on a hanger diagram and solve the equation that represents the diagram, and I can write an equation that describes the weight on a balanced hanger. So 8.1, page 57. Select all the expressions that are equivalent to 2 times the quantity of x plus 3. So go ahead and hit pause, see if you can figure out which ones are equal, and then go ahead and hit play when you're ready. All right, hopefully you'd had time to figure it out. So 2 times x plus 3. Remember, when we have a number next to parentheses like that, it means times. Well, the first one, 2 times x plus 3, that works. Okay? The second one, can we move the 2 to the other end and have it work the same way? Yes. Multiply, the order doesn't matter. So we can put it in the front of the parentheses or the back of the parentheses. Okay, the third one, 2 times x plus 2 times 3. Well, that's just the distributive property we've talked about, the double rainbow, Big Mama. Okay, so 2 times x is 2 times x plus 2 times 3. That one would work. 2 times x plus 3. Okay, that one does not work because they just multiplied the 2 by the x and not the 2 by the 3 as well. So that one's out. 2 times x plus 3. No, that one doesn't work either. And then 2 plus x on the inside and 3 on the outside. That one doesn't work either. That's a completely different problem. So the first 3 work and the last 3 do not. All right, here we go. Let's get into this. 8.2 on the next page. Explain why either of these equations could represent this hanger. 14 equals 2 times x plus 3, or 14 equals 2x plus 6. Okay. Well, if you notice, there are 2 groups of x plus 3 here. We have the first group right here, and we have the second group right here. So 2 groups of x plus 3, that's where the first one comes in. And the second one, they just combine. X plus x is 2x, and 3 plus 3 is 6. So they just get rid of the parentheses. So that's how both of them work. Find the weight of the circle. Well, we can divide this up. Hangers are just another visual representation that help us solve these problems. So let me go ahead and erase some of this. Okay, all right. So if we notice, we have the same groups twice, right? We have 2 groups, x plus 3 on the top and x plus 3 on the bottom. So we're going to split this 14 in half. Half of 14 is 7. So we have x plus 3 equals 7. Well, what plus 3 equals 7? 4 does. So my answer is 4. Okay. All right, 8.3. Use hangers to understand equations and get solving again. Here's some balanced hanger. Each piece is labeled with its weight. For each diagram, assign one of these equations and then figure out how much, or solve the problem. So on the first one, we have 2 groups. So we're going to go 2 parentheses, and then in the parentheses we're just going to write what's in each group. X, positive 5, and that equals 16. Okay. Next one, we have 3 groups, so 3 is going to go on the outside of the parentheses. On the inside is what's in each group. Y plus 200. That equals the whole thing, 3,000. The next one, we have 4 groups. And then in each parentheses, we have z plus 1.1, and that equals 20.8. And to the last one, we have 2 groups again. W plus 2/3 on the inside, and then that equals 20/3 on the outside, on the other side. Of course, I'm on the edge, so it's not letting me write. Let's try this again. 20/3. All right. So now we need to solve them. So we can solve them using either the hanger or we can solve them using the equation. So I'm going to do both ways for a couple of them. So the first one, there's 2 groups, so I'm just going to divide this into two groups, right? We have 16, so 16 divided by 2 is 8. So each group, x plus 5 equals 8. Well, what plus 5 equals 8? 3 plus 5 equals 8, so we're done. Okay. If I were to solve this using the equation, divide both sides by 2, just what I did up there, I cut it in half, and then I have x plus 5 equals 8, minus 5 from both sides, x equals 3. Okay, here, the second one, there are 3 groups, so I'm going to break this up into 3 sections. 3,000 divided by 3 is 1,000, so each one of these is 1,000. Okay, so I have y plus 200 equals 1,000. Well, what plus 200 equals 1,000? 800 plus 200 equals 1,000. Should be another 0 there. So if I were to solve this, divide by 3, which I did, y plus 200 equals 1,000, and then minus 200, and I get y equals 800. All right, on the next one, there's 4 groups, so I would break 20.8 into 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. So 20.8 divided by 4 is 5.2. So 5.2 equals z plus 1.1. Well, if I minus 1.1 from both sides, I get 4.1. So each one is 4.1. All right, with this last one, we're going to divide each by 2. So we divide each by 2. Let me get my pen. Divide by 2. 20 thirds divided by 2 is actually 10 thirds. So I have 10 thirds over here too. So what plus 2 thirds equals 10 thirds? Remember, the 3 stay the same, so it's going to be something over 3. So what plus 2 gives you 10? Well, 8 plus 2 gives you 10, so 8 thirds. 8 thirds. Okay? And that is the lesson for today. If we look at the summary, the balanced hanger shows 3 equal unknown weights and 3 2-unit weights on the left and an 18-unit on the right. There are 3 unknown weights plus 6 units of weight on the left. We could represent this balanced hanger with an equation to solve the equation the same way we did before. 3x's plus 6 equals 18. Then we minus 6 from both sides. We get 3x equals 12. Then we divide by 3 and we get 4. Okay? You could also write this with parentheses. We have 3 groups of x plus 2. We divide by 3. If we divide by 3 here, we get 6 on each. So 6 equals x plus 2. Well, what plus 2 equals 6? It's 4, so the answer is 4. Okay? So either way you do it, doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer. Remember, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and send me an email. Thanks.